Hello everyone, welcome to the Metroid Fusion 100% walkthrough. And yeah, so jumping right in. And this is the last Metroid game as of yet. I am really hoping that is going to change soon, but it has yet to. So, gonna start a new game and see how it goes. I'd been assigned to watch over the biologics research team. So I once again found myself on the surface of SR-388. That's the Metroid homeworld, by the way. And I'm going to read the dialogue because no one else in the whole world does, but I'll try to make it quick. What are you guys doing? Well, I'm gonna just shoot this creature. It was there that I was attacked by a life form I had never encountered before. It was only later that I learned the identity of my attacker, the parasitic organism we now know as X. Unaware of my condition, I was returning to the station when disaster struck. Once the X had infested my central nervous system, I lost consciousness, and my ship drifted into an asteroid belt. No, not the ship. Come on, the ship is such a good character and... The ship's emergency systems automatically ejected the escape pod before impact. Biologics research vessel recovered it and transported me to the Galactic Federation HQ. However, during the journey, the X multiplied within me, corrupting large areas of my power suit. It then came to light that the organic components of my power suit had become so integrated with my system that it could not be removed while I was unconscious. Large portions of my suit had to be surgically removed, which is why Samus is now blue-looking, dramatically altering my physical appearance. However, the X in my central nervous system had to be, well, they were basically too embedded to be removed safely. I was given a minimal chance of survival. Then someone found a cure. Why, thank you, someone. They proposed using a Metroid cell culture found from the anti-vaccine, seeing that the Federation had managed to get preserved single cell. Okay, basically they got that off the suit, which we learned in Metroid Other M, and I'm pretty much done reading this dialogue. So, yeah. The expert parasites were immediately and completely destroyed. How they came up with the idea to use the Metroid as a vaccine, well, I guess, I don't know. As for me, one life ended, yet I survived, reborn, as something different. So, now part Metroid, I guess. Pondering the fact, I realized I owed the Metroid hatchling my life twice over. We'll soon be arriving at the BSL station, prepare for docking, and the intro is almost over because now we just get to learn a little more about kind of Samus's past kind of here with her previous CEO who we meet in Metroid Other M, Pat. So yeah, now we're going to be working for this computer, which is really kind of irritating, which we haven't quite gotten to yet, but to explain most of what's going on with the dialogue, it's kind of just the station's been overrun, which we're about to find out soon enough, by the X, and so now we have to save it because no one else knows how to. So yeah, we also have to listen to the orders of this like really annoying computer, so yeah. Not exactly my favorite thing either, but you know, it works. So now the real game can begin. And it definitely seems weird to be playing this game on an emulator and all, which means, you know, first off, the screen's a little different, and just playing it super big instead of on the Game Boy. So here are our first instructions. Basically, go to the quarantine bay. Yeah. And also I have decided now I am not reading the dialogue, just cause. And so now the game's time actually starts. So which includes these kind of little... I don't think dialogue is included in game time, but I am not going for the best ending anyway, because I am slow in this game. Well, slow, kind of. Also, hatches are not here as of yet, so we don't have to deal with that, which is kind of nice. And we now have the new ledge grip ability, which is quite useful. And as you see, wall jump has also made its return in its own way. So it's okay, but no longer super momentum jump back to the same feature that was so nice in Super Metroid. Quarantine Bay is ahead. Yeah, so be careful. So I had to check in just to learn that information. Well, nice job, computer. Well, I guess they're making it mysterious now. But here's your first enemy in the entire game. Really easy guy. Take him down like that. And you can either collect the parasite or not. It honestly doesn't matter. But it saves a little time to not. Also, while ledge grabbing is nice, it takes a little extra time. But I'm kind of talking like a speedrunner, and I'm obviously not a speedrunner at all for this game, so whatever. Okay, basically, to sum up what's going on, the X can transform into their prey. And they can do this just because they feel like it. Their DNA has the ability to mutate. Well, not really to mutate, it has the ability to, like, copy, kind of, their hosts. Not exactly sure how that's going to work, but okay. Basically, though, the Metroid is their natural predator, and because of their energy ability to, like, suck in stuff, to, like, take energy away from their different life forms, they now have the ability to also automatically absorb X-parasites. And that's why the Chozo originally developed the, Metroids. But then the Galactic Federation decided that Metroids were so much of a problem that they needed to be eliminated. Which then meant that the X-parasites are now coming back. Because eliminating their natural predator. There's also no longer a run button, which is kind of too bad. Because the run button was quite a nice thing. Yeah, definitely like the run button on the Super Metroid. Yeah, but Metroid Fusion, it's kind of a hit and a miss for some people versus other people, because following orders is not exactly super fun when you have to stop all the time. I mean, for those people who want to, but after you play the game once, you kind of don't need to. But they're explaining now in the game some of the mechanics of it, so we're about to go download an upgrade. And so Metroid players who have yet to play Fusion may be like, okay, download an upgrade. How do you download an upgrade? Because, like, you gotta go collect the upgrade. Well, the fact is, Samus's suit is still able to use the kind of upgrade, it just needs the data on how to use it. I'm taking that as the way it is. Maybe you're actually installing kind of an upgrade into the suit, but I don't think it's the way it works here. Like, when you collect an X core to gain back an ability, that's the way that works. But yeah, if only someone had come up with a cure before we lost all our powers, would have fixed a bunch of problems. And that is the only navigation station like in the game where you can freely just pass by it and not read. Missile data download. There are the controls. I am using a Wii remote controller, so things are a little different. Because I'm not even using the D-pad version, I'm using the good old nunchuck version, so yeah. Electrical interference, now we just gotta go this way. So, there's our target for our first boss battle. But first we're gonna get ourselves a pair of energy tanks and other stuff. So, a lot of people, you know, like and some people dislike Fusion, but I personally think it's a rather good game. People who like Fusion tend to not hate Other M as much as most people do, so that's kind of something I've noticed. Just because of some of the not really having a choice on where to go as much. Also, when it comes to sequence breaking in Fusion, the game basically says, no, you can't sequence break. Why did you try to sequence break? Because you can't do it. So even if you do collect like the power bombs early, you still can't use them. And there's your first missile tank. And your second one's right here. It's really not that hard to grab hold of, so go ahead and do that. Recommend that. There's a save station up on top of all the stairs up there, but we're not going to do that. the eyes have a random generation pattern to them, so it makes things a little difficult. Also, fusion is relatively, well, it's kind of hard, I guess, compared to some of the other Metroid games. But, so there's the return of the wall jump. And, yeah. And our first energy tank. But, as most everybody knows, there's a second energy tank up there. You don't need to use 2 missiles, I just made a mistake. And it's also going to cost a little bit when we battle our first boss here, because you're going to need all the missiles you can get. So 20 missiles, definitely good to have. Definitely makes 1%ing this game hard. But here's our first boss. Make sure not to fire too early before you can, like, not be damaged. Once you can. Make sure to fire lots of missiles. And you can just go over here. And he's not too hard. Just make sure to fire the missiles correctly. And he's got this whole normal thing going on there. Yeah. And there we have our collection of missiles and parasites. And, yeah. Okay, we got that. There's also a thing in the game known as a double missile, but the timing's really hard, so I'm not really going to attempt it. If that's okay with you guys. But I think like grabbing items does affect the in-game time slightly, like that period. But there's the Morphball, so we now have that ability back, which I think is definitely a good thing, because you gotta like the Morphball. And there you go. Controls are pretty much the same as Super Metroid minus a few things because there are only 2 for it, so back to the old kind of controls that way. And I'm going to grab a save here, and this will be the end of our first part. So hope you guys thought it was okay. Wasn't really my best commentary-wise, so hope the next one goes better, and I'll see you guys with part 2. Goodbye.